Okay, welcome to 5.1. We're going to look at what it means to find a terminal point on the unit circle. So let me get started explaining what this big mess of numbers is all about. When I say the unit circle, all I mean there is a circle with radius 1, and then remember that x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to r squared. That's the general equation of any circle. Our circle here is centered on 0, 0, and the radius is 1, and so we have this general equation of the unit circle. X squared plus y squared equals 1. And here I am out on the unit circle. I've come over 1 for x, 0 for y. Okay, so there's some points on the unit circle, and let's just see if this next, in example 1, 3/7 and negative 2 root 10 over 7, is that on the unit circle? All we need to do is just see if it will, when we take x squared and y squared, if it ends up equaling 1. So here, squaring that, I'd get 9/49 plus, let's see, negative 2 squared is 4, root 10 squared is 10 over 49, and that is because 9 plus 40 would be 49/49, and that's equal to 1. So yes, that is on the unit circle. All right, I'm going to do another example here. I have a point and it is given that it's on the unit circle, and so I need to find y, and the other hint is it's in quadrant 4. Just a little reminder, if you can't remember, if it's been a while, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Okay. And so we've got this point. It's on the unit circle so that it does satisfy this equation. So I get, squaring that, I get 1/25 plus y squared equals 1, and subtracting 1/25 from both sides, I would get y squared equals 24/25, and then I can take the square root of both sides, and so I'd get y is equal to either the positive or negative. I'm in quadrant 4, and so to get to quadrant 4, I would go a positive x, and then I would go down. So quadrant 4 has a positive x and negative y, and I'm looking for the y value, so this needs to be negative to get me to quadrant 4. And I'm going to take the square root of the top and the bottom. 24, let's see, I'm going to think of that as 4 times 6, square root of 25, so that simplifies to negative 2 root 6 over 5. There's my y value. All right, let's think about what the circumference would be here. Okay, so the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, but remember that r is 1. So the total circumference here for the unit circle is 2 pi. So if I was just happily walking all the way around, I would get all the way around and I would have traveled 2 pi. But let's say that I was coming over here, for example. I would only be getting halfway around the circle, right? So for here, I would go halfway around the circle, so 1/2 of 2 pi, that would get us to pi. All right, and then we can just do the same idea here. This point right here would just be going a quarter of the way. So this right here is at pi over 2. And then here we would be going 3/4 of the way around. So that would be 6 pi over 4, which is 3 pi over 2. So this is 3 pi over 2. Great, okay, so there's some important points on the unit circle. Great, all right, let's do a few more examples. Okay, a little bit more information. A terminal point, that just means what is the x and the y value as you go along on the circumference, just traveling around. Okay, so if I'm just walking along, you're always going to start here from 1, 0. And if I'm going in a positive direction, that is, t is like what you're traveling along the circumference, okay? And then if we have a negative, we're going clockwise. And again, just starting from that beginning point. Okay, so here I have a t equals a positive pi over 4. So that means I'm going in the counterclockwise direction. All right, so now pi over 4, that ends up being right here in the middle. Halfway around the circle is pi. Half of that is pi over 2, and then half of pi over 2, that is pi over 4. Okay, and I want to know what is the x and the y value there. This is, I'm going to draw that a little bit bigger. Okay, that is a 45-degree angle. This is 90. So that ends up being an isosceles triangle. My x and my y are the same. X and y are the same exact value. So if I'm going to try and figure out the terminal point, that just means find the actual value of x and y on where the radius is 1. Okay, so I'm going to use substitution. So x equals y, because that's an isosceles triangle, the 45, 45, 90. Both the side legs are the same there. So I'm going to use substitution, just plug x in for y. So I'd get x squared plus x squared equals 1. Adding up both those x squareds, we get 2x squared equals 1. And dividing by 2, I get x squared equals 1/2. And taking the square root of both sides, I would get positive and negative square root of 1/2. And I'm in quadrant 1. So that means my x is positive. So I've got positive square root of 1/2, take the square root of the numerator, take the square root of the denominator. So I'd get 1 over root 2. And we do need to rationalize this. So this would be root 2 over root 4, and that just simplifies to root 2 over 2. So what I was being asked to do here is find the actual x and y. They're the same because I have x and y the same with that isosceles triangle. All right, so that's what that means to find the terminal point. Just find the x and the y values. All right, we're going to try another one. So pi over 6 is, that ends up being right over, right, pretty much here. If you divided this into, remember this is always, that's pi. So if you split that into 6 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pi over 6 is right there. So what we're trying to do to find the terminal point, we're supposed to find the x and the y coordinates of that pi over 6 if we've traveled pi over 6. Okay, so we need the x and we need the y. Okay, here is something. At least I know this. What's the radius of the unit circle? 1. Okay. Okay, the other thing that's helpful is, again, this was 180. So pi over 6, that would be, we're taking that pi and splitting it into 6 pieces. So that's the same as taking 180 and splitting it into 6 pieces. This is a 30-degree angle right here. And this is 90. So if I'm trying to figure that out, some of you might know this from geometry. If this is a 30-degree angle, this is 90. Well, the angles inside of a triangle, they all have to add up to 180. So 30 and 90, what's left, that needs to be 60. Then if you, this is 1, we knew that. I don't know what x is, and I don't know what y is. If you do the same thing down there in quadrant 2, so you've kind of got this mirror image here. This is another little 30-degree angle. This is also 60. This is 60. So what ends up happening is we can see that as a equilateral triangle there. This is the x we're trying to find. This is 1. So an equilateral triangle, because all of those angles are the same, it ends up where the side lengths are the same. This whole thing is 1, and this splits that right in half. And so our y ends up being 1/2. And then we can find the x value there. We've got x squared plus y squared. So 1/2 squared is equal to 1 squared, which is just 1. And so we've got x squared plus 1/4. is equal to 1. Subtracting 1/4 from both sides, we would get x squared equals 3/4. And then taking the square root of that. And since we're in quadrant 1, we need x to be positive. So we'd have square root of the numerators go square root of 3 over square root of 4, and that just simplifies to 2. So we have our x, we have our y, and we found the terminal point there. That is at root 3 over 2 and 1/2. Phew. All right, good deal. Okay, so I'm going to challenge you to try this one. We're counting, this is pi over 3. And so we did all the hard work. It's just a matter of trying to figure out which is the 30 degree, which is the 60 degree, and where the 1/2 goes, where the root 3 over 2, where the 1 goes. Okay, so pause the video and kind of think about it a little bit. We did one really similar. All right, so we should have an x value of 1/2 and a y value of root 3 over 2 for that one. Okay, so let's try and fill in the rest of this. We've done these first ones in quadrant 1. And I challenge you to just pause the video and think about what these terminal points would be for pi over 4 as we're counting around pi over 4. And my hint is in quadrant 1 we've got positive x and y, and so I want you to think about what the sign would be for quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. All right, so go ahead and pause and see if you can fill this in. Okay, so hopefully you see that these are all these little 90 degree, 45 degree angles. So the values are going to be the same for x and y on all of these, but to get to quadrant 2 you need a negative x. To get to quadrant 3 you need a negative x and negative y, and to get to quadrant 4 you need a positive x, negative y. All right, so go ahead and do the same thing when we're looking at pi's over 6. Okay, and here those triangles that we had are 30, 60, 90. Okay, so go ahead and fill those in. Okay, so the only thing changing on those is just the sign of x and y, and then the other one that we can look at is those pi over 3. Okay, and you see here what I'm saying is I'm counting, there's a pi over 3, there's 2 pi's over 3. Here's 3 pi's over 3, but we already know the term, we already know the x and the y there. So here's the next pi over 3. So this was 3 pi over 3, here's 4 pi over 3, here's 5, and here's 6 pi over 3, which simplifies down to, this is just 2 pi. Okay, so let's fill those in. Go ahead and pause and fill those in for yourself. All right, there we go. So there's all of our terminal points for the unit circle. I just want to show you one more pattern that might help you to remember all these values. And okay, so what we could actually do is write all of these x and y values as fractions with a denominator of 2. And then there's this nice pattern where the numerators are square root of 4, square root of 3, square root of 1, square root of 0, and then going back in the other direction for the y's. So that's just kind of a fun pattern to help you. So there it is. There are finding the terminal points on the unit circle. One more slide on here, but I feel like we've done enough. So the next one I'll do is the reference numbers.